Water, the most precious of all natural resources, without which we simply couldn't survive. But too much of it, in the wrong place, at the wrong time, can wreak havoc, which is why it can pay to put a little away in a handy place for a rainy day. They're all too familiar scenes. Floodwater cascading through streets, wrecking homes and property, threatening lives, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. And they're scenes which are becoming more frequent as climate change brings with it more extreme weather, severe storms and wetter winters. According to the Environment Agency, over 5 million people in England and Wales live or work in areas at risk from flooding. Some because of their proximity to the coast, others close to rivers, while many are vulnerable to torrential downpours, causing severe flooding in an instant. Yes, flooding can happen in many ways, but whether tidal from the sea, fluvial from the rivers, or flash floods from surface water, one thing is for sure: floods are inevitable. And we can't prevent them, but we can prepare for them, minimise the danger and protect ourselves from the potential consequences. This DVD offers valuable information, advice and guidance on what steps you can take when faced with the threat of flooding. The first thing you should do is establish whether you live or work in an area under threat from flooding. You can do this by visiting the Environment Agency website, environment-agency.gov.uk/floodline. A free Floodline Warnings Direct service is available to people living in flood risk areas. You can check to see if you can receive the service by calling the Environment Agency Floodline on 0845 988 1188 or by going to the website and entering your postcode. If you are in a flood risk area and you register for the Floodline Warnings Direct service, make sure you register both your landline telephone number and your mobile telephone number. You may not be at home when the flood warning is issued, and so it's vital that you can receive the warning to your mobile phone as well. It's a good idea to make a flood plan specific to your own family's needs. The easiest way to do it is to visit the Environment Agency website, download a personal flood plan. The forms are easy to fill in, and once you've done that, store them away in a safe place so you can put a hand on them in the event of a flood warning. Environment Agency staff monitor the weather every hour, night and day, keeping a constant check on river levels and tides. If the threat of a flood becomes serious, the Environment Agency will issue a flood warning. Flood warnings are issued in several ways. The Environment Agency will send a message directly to your home via telephone using the Floodline Warnings Direct service. It will also send a message to your mobile so that if you are on the move or at work, you will still know there is the threat of flooding to your area. The Environment Agency will inform the media, who will broadcast warnings as quickly as possible on local television and radio. The Environment Agency website issues regular updates about which flood warnings are in force. Latest flooding information may also be issued by email or text messages to those who receive the Floodline Warnings Direct service. Make sure you know how to receive flood warnings. There are a variety of ways in which you can prepare for and protect against flooding. Stay tuned to your local TV or radio station. The media plays an essential role by broadcasting up-to-the-minute information which can help you stay safe. Flooding can often happen very quickly, so getting reliable information fast can be vital. If a flood becomes very serious, local stations may even switch to emergency broadcasting. The BBC runs a service called Connecting in a Crisis, dedicated to making sure people have all the information they need during a major emergency. For more information, or to check the details of your local BBC radio station, visit their website at bbc.co.uk. Check the Environment Agency website or call Floodline on 0845 988 1188 for latest updates on flooding in your area. And that brings us to a very important point, your quick dial code or number. It's a number you'll hear at the end of the phone message from Floodline Warnings Direct. The quick dial code is specific to your area and it will appear at the end of a text or phone message whenever a flood warning is issued. And it's important because it will speed up the process when you want to find out more information about the conditions in your own area. Aside from the obvious threat to life and property, floodwater can be extremely dangerous and should not be entered either on foot or in a vehicle. If flooding is expected, make sure you know what to do and take steps to minimise the dangers and potential damage. Make sure your family and pets are safe. If flooding becomes so serious it becomes dangerous to remain in your home, you may need to move elsewhere, as advised by the emergency services. Be prepared to switch off your gas, electricity and water supplies if advised to do so. The next time your meter is read, affix a coloured tape to the lever or switch that you need to use to turn off the supply. Try to stop floodwater entering your property. Block doorways and air bricks with sandbags, floodboards or floodgates. Visit the website floodresilienthome.com for more information. Floodwater may enter the inside of your property first, as soon as the sewer systems are overwhelmed. So, think about where wastewater leaves your home. For example, washing machines and dishwasher drains, and protect these too. Put the lid down on your toilet and place something heavy, like bricks, on top to reduce the flow of water coming through. Fill baths and sinks and put something heavy onto plugs to weigh them down. Make sure your personal property is protected. Where possible, move it out of reach of floodwater, putting furniture on bricks and emptying bottom shelves. Keep valuables upstairs in a safe place. Remember, while insurance can cover repairs to your property, it can't replace precious items such as wedding photographs, family albums or keepsakes, which should be kept in waterproof packaging. Keep copies of important documents safe. Check your insurance policy details to see if you have alternative accommodation cover in case you have to move out of your home. Think about your car. You might need to move it to higher ground. And remember, if you are flooded, call your insurer as soon as it is safe to do so to report any flood damage. And a word for those of you who live in flats. You may think that you're safe from flooding, but you're not. If flooding occurs, you could lose both your water and electricity supply, so you'll need to be prepared. You may not be able to enter or leave the building, and of course many car parks are underground. All of which brings us back to where we started, your very own flood pack. The Environment Agency recommend that you make up a pack in case of a flooding emergency. You'll have your own ideas of what's essential for your family, but here are some good suggestions. Some warm clothing and blankets for sure. Food too. Pet food if you have pets, food for yourself, and of course baby food. Medication, if you're on regular medication, make sure you have spare medication to hand in your pack. Also a radio and a torch. These are perfect, these are the wind-up versions. If you have the normal versions, make sure you have spare batteries. Other ideas, well, a cuddly toy maybe to comfort those small children, and a disposable camera. May seem like a strange suggestion, but photographs of the floods will be very useful when you're filling in your insurance claims. And the last and most important thing, water. There will be far too much of it out there, but you certainly need to have some in here. Once you've put your pack together, put it away in a safe and easily accessible place. Hopefully you'll never need it, but it might just turn out to be a lifeline if you find yourself a victim of flooding.